I rarely drive, but when I do, I never use a sat-nav. And this turns out to be a hot topic online. It is much debated. Here is The Guardian saying, forget sat-navs, give me a good old-fashioned map any time. Here's the Mail saying that drivers prefer the printed map. That's the Mirror saying very much the same thing. And the Telegraph, they also say in the Telegraph that road atlases, the sales have been soaring as sat-nav drivers seek extra help. And you should see how passionate people get on this debate. The bottom half of the internet turns into a bubbling fury when a topic like this is debated. And I do enjoy seeing people get so worked up about things that don't really matter. Because I have a hobby, ladies and gentlemen. I've visited a dozen or more sites where this was under debate, and I've taken my favourite comments from those debates and turned them into something that I like to think is a little more beautiful. I've turned them into something that I like to call a found poem that I would like to perform for you now. There is no debate here. Sat-navs are best. Maps are old. Sat-navs are new. I rely on my sat-nav 100%. I would be lost without it. I don't mean that I would literally be lost, although that is true as well. I mean that I wouldn't know what to do without it. But then it's true that I wouldn't know where I was either. So despite what I say, I would be literally lost without it. I've never used a sat-nav, and I never will. I don't even know what they are. Maps are best. Maps are beautiful. Maps can be folded up and put in one's pocket. Sat-navs can't. While I agree with you in principle, it is only fair to point out that most sat-navs will fit in most pockets. Map reading should be a part of the national curriculum. The people of Britain ought to know how to read a map of Britain's roads. Map reading is an essential life skill. Imagine you are being dropped in a foreign jungle and told to hack your way out. There's no power supply to charge a sat-nav. See? You should have learned to read a map, stupid. What use will your map reading be if you are dropped in a jungle without a map? There's no power supply in this jungle of yours, but no map shops either. Worse still, imagine being dropped in a jungle, and this time, imagine you have a map, but it turns out that it's a map of a completely different jungle. Now your map reading skills are putting your life in danger. The problem with standard road atlases is that they only work one way up. They are perfect if you are driving from south to north. But the moment you try driving from north to south, a road atlas becomes as good as useless. Either everything is pointing the wrong way, or everything is pointing the right way, and the words are upside down. A sat-nav solves this problem. I call mine Sally. Sally Sat-nav. Sally Sat-nav has a nice voice. Sometimes I turn Sally on even if I'm just going to the shops. She makes me feel less lonely. If you depend on satellite navigation, then the battle has been lost. Because that means you depend on the system. And one day the system is going to break. When the satellites go down, humankind will descend into chaos. It will be a dog-eat-dog world. Every man for himself. When your kids need feeding, and you find that your local supermarket has been looted, or worse, fallen into the hands of a rebel militia, say, then you will regret being so reliant on a sat nav system that no longer has a sat, a light. I call my sat nav Henry because, like Henry, he always knows where he is going. Henry is my brother-in-law.